Most people imagine looters as violent, desperate animals smashing windows and kicking down doors. That fantasy is comforting because it makes you think survival is about strength and weapons. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When society collapses, your home doesn't get looted because someone is stronger than you. It gets looted because it advertises itself. Noise, light, heat, smell, movement, routine. These are the signals that say resources here. If you understand that, you stop thinking about turning your house into a fortress and start turning it into something far more dangerous to a looter. A place that looks empty, pointless, and risky to approach. Listen carefully, because the goal isn't to make your home impossible to break into. That's a losing game. The goal is to make it not worth trying. In a real collapse, blackouts, food shortages, police gone, people don't raid randomly. They follow energy efficiency. They look for the easiest calories, the lowest risk, the fastest reward. Your job is to raise the cost of approaching your home while lowering its apparent value to zero. Here's the first thing nobody tells you. Silence is armor. The human brain is extremely sensitive to sound anomalies. A generator humming at night, a TV flicker, even footsteps on a quiet street. These sounds carry far in a world without background noise. During blackouts, cities become acoustically naked. Sound travels farther because there's less ambient interference. That means every noise you make expands your detection radius. An unlootable home doesn't just turn off lights. It kills sound at the source. No generators unless fully baffled. No clanking metal. No repeated door openings. Soft footwear indoors. Furniture pads under chairs. Even whispering becomes risky in close quarters. Silence doesn't just hide you. It makes looters uneasy. Humans are wired to fear quiet places where nothing confirms safety. Once sound is controlled, light becomes the next betrayal. In collapse scenarios, light equals life. Life equals resources. Even a candle glow through fabric can be seen from surprising distances once darkness is total. The physics is simple. Pupils dilate massively in low-light environments, increasing sensitivity by orders of magnitude. That means a tiny light leak becomes a beacon. An unlootable home leaks nothing. Blackout curtains are only step one. You need light discipline. Lights used only in interior rooms, reflected off walls, never directly visible from outside. Even phone screens should be dimmed and angled downward. The irony is brutal. The more comfortable you try to be, the more visible you become. Now here's where things get counterintuitive. The most dangerous houses in a collapse are not abandoned ones. They're obviously defended ones. Heavy barricades, warning signs, weapons visible through windows. These don't scare desperate people. They tell a story. Something valuable is inside. Real-world conflict zones show this again and again. Looters avoid uncertainty, not danger. A home that looks aggressively protected implies reward worth the risk. An unlootable home looks neglected, boring, and already stripped. Dirty windows, uneven curtains, a little visible disrepair. Nothing theatrical, just enough to suggest emptiness or poverty. You're not hiding strength. You're hiding value. Smell is the sense almost everyone forgets, and it's the one that betrays you the fastest. Cooking odors, soap, fuel, even human waste all travel unpredictably on air currents. In survival psychology, smell triggers instinctive investigation because it signals food or people. That's why animals track by scent, and humans aren't much different under stress. If you're cooking, you're broadcasting. The solution isn't just eating cold food. It's timing, ventilation control, and scent discipline. Cook during daylight, noise hours when activity masks smells. Vent upward, not outward. Avoid aromatic foods. And understand this grim fact. In collapse conditions, people recognize the smell of cooked food the way sharks recognize blood. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Now let's talk about entry points, because this is where most people make expensive mistakes. Reinforcing doors and windows is useful, but reinforcement alone is not what stops entry. Time does. Human beings are incredibly bad at committing to actions that require sustained effort under uncertainty. A door that takes 10 seconds to breach gets breached. A door that takes 2 minutes, makes noise, and offers no guarantee of reward usually doesn't. Simple changes matter. Screws instead of nails. Hinges reinforced from the inside. Door frame strengthened, not just the door. Windows layered, not boarded theatrically. Breakable but time-consuming barriers are often better than indestructible-looking ones because they create doubt without advertising preparation. But here's the deeper layer: patternlessness. Humans hunt patterns under stress. If your house has lights at the same hour, movement at the same time, sounds in predictable intervals, you become trackable, even unconsciously. An unlootable home has no routine visible from the outside. Sometimes dark, sometimes dim, sometimes silent all day, sometimes brief movement at odd hours. You are not hiding. You are becoming unreadable. Military field manuals emphasize this concept repeatedly. Predictability is vulnerability. Now we reach the part people romanticize: traps. Forget Hollywood nonsense. Real traps are psychological, not mechanical. You don't need to injure someone. You need to make them feel watched, uncertain, and exposed. Small signals do this: footprints that appear and disappear. Objects subtly moved. A door left ajar one day, locked the next. Evidence of activity without confirmation of presence. The human stress response hates ambiguity more than threat. A looter who can't tell if a place is occupied will often move on, because conflict with unknown defenders is the fastest way to die in a lawless environment. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Another critical mistake people make is assuming threats come at night. In real collapse events, daylight is often more dangerous. Night favors stealth, but it also favors defenders who know their space. Daylight allows looters to observe, assess, and return later. That means daytime concealment matters more than nighttime defense. Curtains drawn. Movement minimized near windows. No silhouettes. Your home should look dead when the sun is up. Ironically, this is when most people relax and expose themselves. Finally, understand this brutal principle. The safest house is rarely the strongest one. It's the one that doesn't enter anyone's mental map of opportunity. Humans under collapse conditions triage targets constantly. They ask, often unconsciously, is it worth the calories, the risk, the noise, the time? Every technique you've heard today exists to tilt those calculations against you being chosen. If society collapses, you don't survive by standing your ground like a movie hero. You survive by becoming invisible in plain sight. No signals, no patterns, no promises of reward. Because when everything breaks, the most powerful defense isn't force, it's being ignored.